Good evening, friends. This is a video that I am recording for the purpose of explaining the holistic development of a child. Friends, there is no denying the fact that modern education emphasizes the need of holistic development of every child, right from kids' age to the higher education. The child needs to be developed holistically. There are five pillars of holistic development. The true growth of a child requires balance across multiple interconnected domains. You may ask, what are those interconnected domains? The first domain is physical, second one is intellectual, that is cognitive, the third one is emotional, fourth one is social, and the fifth one is spiritual or moral development. I repeat, there are five pillars of the development, holistic development of a child. The first one is physical development, the second one is intellectual development, the third one is emotional development, the fourth one is social development, and the last but not the least, the fifth one is spiritual or moral development. Friends, building gross and fine motor skill, strength, and overall bodily health through exercise, nutrition, and play. You see, right from the small age, there's a need to have the nutrition teacher. I mean, a physician who could look after the nutrition of the children right from play age. So when these children are sent to the play school, it is important for every institution to have one nutrition expert at the school, permanent employee who can look into the physical growth of the children, particularly the nutrition and health. And for that, now the CBSE has already given recognition to appointment of nutrition experts in every school, right from kidding to the upper class. The fact that physical growth and motor development across the body, the strength and overall bodily health through exercise and nutrition has become imperative for every child. Then comes the second one, that is cognitive. Cognitive domain means intellectual development, fostering critical thinking, problem solving, and curiosity beyond tradition and rote memorization. Earlier, what happened? The children used to memorize the things which was not at all education. Memory has hardly anything to do with education. If you do not understand the concept, if your cognitive domain is not ready to accept and think critically and solve the problems, with a critical thinking and problem solving ability, if you are not thinking beyond tradition, if you are not thinking out of box, and if your thinking is not logical and scientific, you cannot really be intellectually or cognitive development. So the fostering of critical thinking, problem solving, and curiosity beyond traditional rote memorization. Then comes emotional development is an integral part of education. If a child is emotionally weak, he may not be able to carry out stress and emotional trauma ahead, because cultivating self-awareness about emotional regulation, resilience, and to handle the challenges and navigate the challenges, because nowadays every child is stressed, not only because the curriculum is a burden, no, it is only because the expectations of the society, the expectations of the parents, the expectation of each and every individual related to the child is so high. The parents impose their own expectations on the child, making the child lead a stress ridden life. Because of that, it is very difficult to handle situation. The child sometimes falls into a stress trauma, and that time he needs the counseling and advice and care of the experts, particularly the teachers who are psychologists and who have the ability to handle the stress trauma. So every teacher, every educator must be aware of the stress trauma and make the child aware of the emotional regulation, particularly developing resilience to handle stress and anxiety in the latter age of their life. When they are in class 11 and 12, they badly need the advice and counseling of the experts, particularly the educational experts, psychologists, and psychiatrists to really make them comfortable with the stress problem. Because whenever they are stressed with their career, when they are not able to qualify for IIT or JEE, actually sometimes they feel that they're not able to fulfill the expectations of their parents. That is a very wrong concept. So we have to train the parents, we have to educate the parents to understand that their expectations are not the expectations of the child. The child is doing his best. If the child has performed even, I mean, below the expectation, it doesn't mean that the child is poor, and you cannot impose your expectations on the child. For the intellectual and emotional growth of the child, cultivating self-awareness, emotional regulation is important. Social development is very important. Nowadays, what is happening, the society is badly lacking empathy. We are not able to think, being in the shoes of others. We are not able to establish a communication and collaboration. These two skills are the integral part of education. Communication and collaboration skills through teamwork. We need to train the children to work in collaboration, in team rather than individual. Because when you are interacting with the community, you need to work in a team. Suppose in the nearby area where the school is there, there is no health and hygiene, there is no awareness. It is the duty of the, I mean, institution and the children to visit that area, conduct a meeting with the villagers and make them aware of the importance of health and hygiene. And if possible, they can devote Sunday and they can clean the nearby areas themselves, making the villagers aware that why cleanliness is important, because cleanliness is next to godliness, and it keeps us free from all kinds of diseases and viral infection. Social development, empathy, communication, and collaboration. These are the skills which are very important in the 21st century skill. And the last but not the least is spiritual and moral development. Nurturing core values like ethics. Nowadays, the society badly need the importance of ethics, whether it is professional ethics, social ethics, moral ethics, or any other ethics that we have. Because without ethics, without the moral values, we cannot really save the society from disaster. Because corruption is at the right from the bottom to the top level. So we have to train the young minds to fight against all ill practices, and they have to be strong morally and ethically so that they can really nurture and they can prepare a healthy and fair generation. And that is what I wanted to sum up. This is Eddie Singh on the channel Aging List by Eddie Singh. Thank you. Good night.